Hi there, this is Dennis Velco with OutBüro, and welcome to yet another episode of OutBüro Voices, where we are having fantastic conversations with interesting LGBT entrepreneurs, community leaders, and folks who are just dang cool. Like today, we are talking with Anthony Bawn. He is one of the co-founders of VIM Media, which can be found, as you can see on his screen, at vim2.tv. He's been working on this for quite a while, doing video and film production, casting, all the gamuts you could imagine in what it takes to create shows and episodes of those shows. So I'm sure we're going to have a very interesting and delightful conversation. And welcome so much, Anthony, to the OutBüro Voices show.
Thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor, and I cannot wait to tell you about my little thing that I do.
Well, awesome. Well, how about we just go right into that then? And but I always like to start with a little bit of the background and kind of the journey as to
Yes.
how you got there. Like in our initial introduction call, we found that we have at least some similar commonalities in the schools that you went to in the past. So let's kind of delve into a little bit of your history and then kind of lead up to how you got into co-founding VIM Media.
Yeah. Well, I was born and raised in Gainesville, Florida. So I grew up in the South. Always wanted to be an actor. I was so fascinated with theater, movies, and things of that nature. My biggest inspirations, obviously, are Spike Lee. As directors and actors, you got your Lawrence Fishburnes and your Sidney Poitiers and your Harry Belafontes. Those are my ideal people that I looked up to growing up. And then, recently directors, like Barry Jenkins and Moonlight and If Bell Shoot Could Talk. But I got my start in, like I said, in the second grade. So in Florida, my mother wanted me to be a doctor. I grew up in a very island family. My family is from Bermuda,
Okay.
and basically she already had her vision for me, and I was like, no, Mom, I want to be an actor. I want to do this and do that. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, you do it for a little while, and then once you get to college, then you'll do what I want you to do. And I said no. I said no. So I went to college. I graduated from Duke Ellington School of Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. And from there, I went to Columbia in Chicago, where I majored in musical theater. But my primary focus was in theater.
Okay.
There, I met a lot of my good friends that I have today. I also met my husband there at college. That
Oh.
that we're still together now for almost 13 years and going strong.
Oh,
And
wow.
so after I graduated from Columbia, then I went to New York with the dreams of, I'm going to be this big Broadway star. And clearly I saved up some money for the first year. And then after that first year, I quickly realized that, honey, it ain't happening. So
Well, money goes very fast in New York City.
yeah. So then I'm like, okay, then you need to get a regular job, use your degree, and get a job. So, and I did just that. I got a corporate job working for a wealth and tax advisory firm. And I was there for like a year and some change. But in between that, I was still yearning for my creative urges and my spirit to be nurtured. And I started this first show that was called What's the Function? It's a reality show. It started out as a uh, talk show that was five guys that's supposed to be five gay guys on different spectrums. One was a recording artist, one was an author, one was a professional dancer, one was a fashion stylist, and the other one was a philanthropist. And so it was just their whole viewpoint of what the world is and how they're treated within this world.
Okay.
That quickly became some spawned into a reality show and no longer about a talk show. And it, to this day, it was like one of the largest, most viewed gay reality shows on YouTube when it first came out back in like 2010, 2011, because there was nothing like that on YouTube
Huh.
during that time. And it was also featured on Keeping Up with the Kardashians on E. And then at that point, it just spawned into its own thing. And
Huh.
then from there, I moved to LA. I was like, okay, well, you know what? Now, since I've had some semi success with this reality show, let me try to go to scripted content. I got a hold of my first TV show. I was working with one of my friends from college. His name is Andrew Malone. He wrote like the script for what will be the bones for my first TV show, Cheetah In August. And
Okay.
from there, I did the first season, and the first season got so much rave reviews. It was classifying as the new Noah's Ark, that was done by Patrick and Polk on MTV Logo, because that show had been off air for a long time. And then my show came along, and it gave people that essence of what they want to watch. It had the drama, it had, the story, and everything was in it. And it had a sense of sci-fi because the main character has an alter ego that we see in the show. That
Oh, okay.
so he battles with himself and his alter ego because he thinks he can heal people through sex.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
yes, so once we did that show, and it just spawned into a countless amount of other original shows that I've either directed, wrote, or helped produce. And then now I started my own streaming platform, which was called Bond Television. And I've had Bond Television for years, like I think maybe 5 or 6 years. And then I was approached by a small group of other like-minded creators that they had a company, VIM Media. And they approached me and said, hey, we love what you're doing with the LGBT side of things. We're trying to start a platform, but we want to have one person to lead the gay section on the streaming platform while we work on garnering in other different type of content to make it all exclusive. But we want to make sure that the LGBT is very strong on our platform. So like we have very strong representation of that because we don't want to let that fall by the wayside.
Hmm.
And they saw my catalog that I already had, and they was like, okay, this seems like it'll be a good fit. So I agreed to it, and they brought me on board, signed me on for as a co-founder for the new firm, and I dissolved Bond Television, and then they ingested my catalog under their platform. So now we are in the process of creating a array of new material that I'm so excited for, because not only are they allowing me to have my voice and also to tell my story how I want it to be told, they're also giving me the freedom to do it how I want it to be done without restraints. So
Okay. And
so
so you mentioned that it's in the media that they brought you on board for the LGBT content while they're focusing on other things. So
yeah.
is it is VIM Media looking to be more of a total LGBT kind of media enterprise, or is it going to have, you know, cooking shows and dog, like, is it
It's
going to have
gonna
a variety of different kinds of shows, or is it all going
yes.
to be all LGBT kind of centric?
It's gonna have a variety of things. They're looking at doing their own reality shows. They're looking at doing their own competition shows. They're looking at doing a news broadcast thing, because on the website, they do have a live feed where that they can, stream live for, I guess maybe like 25 hours or something like that, 24 hours or whatnot. But
Oh.
they are able to put on this type of material on this type of platform. So I'm
Oh.
excited to really be a part of it.
Okay, well, I'll have to, if you have not checked it out before or seen it,
Hmm.
What's Happened in Media, based here in Wilton Manors in Fort Lauderdale, Florida,
Uh-huh.
started with a weekly broadcast variety show, kind of like the View,
Right.
and huge following on Facebook. Now they've started nightly news broadcasting.
Oh,
So
wow.
so it's all gay
Hmm.
news every night.
Right. Right.
So that might be an interesting opportunity for you guys to connect up. So and I know of it, not because I'm connected with people, so it's always in my feed and so
Right.
forth. But anywho, so interesting. So you are kind of in the so how far along is VIM Media in its getting, kind of really launching? Is it launched? Is it, can
Right.
people subscribe today? And how do they begin to consume this and view your content?
Right. So yes, the website is up. The stages we're in now is that we recently acquired funding for, like, I think it was like $2 million
Wow.
to create our own original material. But that's going to be broken up over the next course of the next 10 years. So however that yearly budget is going to come into the company, they allocate the funding to each department. So my department for the LGBT sector will get a certain amount of budget so that I can create shows for the platform. But right now the site is up. There you're able to subscribe. You're able to watch all the content. We're in the beta stages of launching our mobile app, which is going to be on Apple TV, iPhone, Android, Roku, and then there's going to have like the Fire Stick, I think, and it was like one other one. I think it was like Samsung TV or something like that. So yeah, so they're really reaching out, but that over the next 3 to 6 months, we'll see the full rollout of the platform.
Oh, okay. And hopefully they'll revise that budget from 10 years down to at least 5. Because doing the quick math, it's like, I know it's, to do good quality content can take some money, right?
Yeah,
Even doing it inexpensively, it still takes quite a bit, especially with an aggressive, trying to do your own reality shows, game shows, and so forth. Lots of sets have to be created, and
well, you see, the thing is, when it comes to that, how I view that process is that there's a lot of people that have standards, and when I think that a lot of people who went to film school, who graduated from film school, and who went to those type of institutions, they're conditioned a certain way to understand that this is what's required in order for something to be made, and that's not the case. I didn't go to film school. I didn't graduate as a producer or whatever, but I've worked with a lot of graduate students from UCLA, Harvard, and Yale that know this type of business. And there's like, Anthony, what you're doing and how you're doing it, no one in the industry will be able to get it done on those types of budgets. But you get it done and it looks good. It's not like shit, but it looks good. So they're all amazed at how efficient it gets done. Yes, there's some cracks here and there and things happen here and there, but that's just the nature of the business.
right.
But at the end of the day, it does get done.
Gotcha,
And
gotcha.
not $1 million budget, or to do like, you know, someone told me like, oh, I need $100,000 to do one 30-minute episode. I'm like, what? Yeah,
Yeah,
but that to each
yeah,
his
no,
own. Yeah.
right. No, I understand. And, and what's great is too is taking that, kind of scrappy bootstrap, approach. The more success you have with that,
Mm-hmm.
then as subscribers come on, revenue, really begins to take traction. That's just going to add to the budget
Mm-hmm.
and be able to do even more. But
Right.
and so many entrepreneurs, no matter what industry you're in, we all have to, like OutBüro is a bootstrap, self-funded, startup as well.
Right.
And, I do lots with next to nothing. It's all about, like in your industry, yes, there is a certain amount of equipment you need to have, and
Yes.
a certain amount. If I try to shoot although you can shoot a movie on your iPhone, it's
You
not.
can. It's been done.
It's been done.
It's been nominated for a very pristine award. Tangerine was shot all on an iPhone.
Really?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Shot all on an iPhone, and it was nominated, I think, for either like a Golden Globe or something like that. It was, and I'm like, it just further proves my point. You know what I mean?
Right.
That you can create mindful content, but not throw $1 million at it. I mean, for me, granted, I would for a film, I would take 15,000 to produce a film and get it done and make it look great, and then I'll use the rest of that million to market it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I know a little bit of something. My ex of 17 years, while I was working uh, in my technology consulting business that I owned, I actually supported him for nearly 4 years while he went to film school.
mm,
So he went to both New York Film School and in Orlando, Florida, the New York Film Academy. And talking about doing things on a budget, obviously, when you're a student in the school, and I had a lot of fun for a couple of the shoots where I volunteered to do all the craft services. So
right.
I ended
That
up.
is very important, actually. That's a very important thing. You'll be surprised. More people spend more money on crafting services than for a PA.
Wow, wow. And so for those who don't know, craft services is the food and beverages that's on the set so that everyone doesn't get hangry.
Hmm.
And but yeah, so they gave me a budget and I created a whole menu. So every day was different, and different food, different kinds of things, because I enjoy cooking. It's one of my things. But so that was a lot of fun. Met some great people through that process. So know a little bit about the industry from that.
Hmm.
So what kind of projects, if any, are you currently working? I did check out your website, and I'll just say I didn't subscribe to view all of the content, but from what
Hmm.
I could view, certainly had some yummy factor going on there. Some hunky looking guys.
Right.
Uh, I was like, hello, yes, yes, you and you and you.
Right.
So, what kind of are you currently working on any production projects, or what that
Yeah.
looks like?
As of right now, we're Confirma season 2. We're just now wrapping that up. We're still in the process of releasing those episodes. So I think this week we have the last few couple days of for this season, and we got a third season, thank God.
And
For
which show is that again?
Confirma.
Confirma.
Yes, it's an
So,
'80s term that it means confusion and drama.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what was told to me. My uncle is like my mentor. He told me, I was telling him, me and my husband were talking about something, and we were telling him about a situation that we was going through, and then he was just like, "Oh my gosh, you guys just come from." I was like, "What is that?" He was like, he said, "It's like an old term from the '80s, like confusion and drama. That's what you guys are doing right now." I said, I'm taking that. I'm taking that, and I'm
Okay.
gonna create a show off of that. And so I did. Now we're in our second season now, and our third season is coming out 2021. Hopefully with no COVID.
Oh my goodness. So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about the premise of that particular show. You know, what's it about?
Mhm.
And you know, kind of what's the general storyline of this confusion and drama?
Yeah, so Confirma is about a married couple who invites a third person into their marriage to become their boyfriend. So it showcases the rawness of emotions that this married couple goes through with this young man, and it's comedy. It's a comedy. It's a drama. It's really serious, and it brings up a lot of things that that most people don't want to have the conversation about polygamy, and no, like those things are real, like, you know, those are real things that happens in the world. So, and I wanted to, speaking from experience, I wanted to write a show about that because
Okay.
I had an experience, me and my husband had an experience with that, and it was not the best situation. But um, I wrote a show about it. A great show came out of it.
Okay. Now, so you say a married couple. Is that a
Yes,
heterosexual or gay married?
gay married couple.
Gay married couple. So gay
Yeah.
male. Okay.
Yes,
All right. So so polygamy, or
but
a lot
it
of
could
terms it'd
work
be
both ways.
poly.
Yeah, but it could work both ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It seems like it seems trends.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, because
and
and that's another thing. Because in the second season, we introduced that because another female that's in our show, she in the first season she talked about her experience dealing with that in her marriage, and that's why her and her husband divorced. And we brought that story in the second season, and we introduced her relationship and her situation with her ex husband and the girl that he left her for. So it's like you have
oh,
that. So you have that. Then you also have my character situation. I'm in the show actually, Angel as Angel, but my character situation dealing with now I'm in a pending divorce with my husband from this situation, and then I end up moving to a new apartment, and then I start messing around with another married couple that happen to be my neighbors. Um,
okay.
yeah,
Well,
so
I gotta say, it's certainly on point. I tell you what, it certainly seems. I'm still fairly new to the Fort Lauderdale, Wilton Manors area, and then also recently divorced just 3 years ago, but
uh-huh.
and quite ready for that to change. FYI, folks out there, hello, handsome potential husbands out there. But you know, have I been an angel throughout all of my past travels and so forth? No, but I guess I was just a little oblivious
Uh-huh.
as to how much in the gay community, and I'm sure heterosexual to some point, but
Hmm.
specifically in the gay community, it's like in Wilton Manors and Fort Lauderdale, it's like 95%, at least my exposure,
Yeah.
95% of the couples are either open or cheating on each other.
Mm,
And,
yeah.
you
Well,
know,
but see, there's a difference. Well, and that's the one thing that I do
and, and,
outline.
and and the thruples. I
Yeah,
have
that's
I have met several couples who have three or four where they're
right.
all
Oh, four. Oh, that's a
I've
lot.
that's yeah, but well, we'll
No,
say even
but
when
I
they have three in the relationship, they'll still go out and do things
no
on
see,
the side.
and I guess that's the thing that I in the show that I really want to put to head, because there's a difference between being open and there's a difference between having a level of understanding and communication. So, and that's exactly what I outlined in this show, that most people think that, you know, gay couples are very men are very promiscuous, and then they want to, like, you know, see things outside of marriage. But then in this show it outlines that no, that's not the case. Is that these two couples, they love each other, but they just like their appetite to sexual appetite is in heightened when they have another person that's involved. It's not that, it's not that they want to cheat or go out and, mess around with other folks. It's that, oh no, we have a level of understanding. Oh, that person wants to come in. Hey, it's a level of communication. And
Right.
that's one thing that I love about the show. Cause I helped, write and guide the first season. This season, I didn't write as much until the later episodes, but like all of my writers, they understood what I meant and how when I came across in the development process of the show, like they were just on point on all levels. So I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't even tell them like a detailed backstory. And I was like, this is situation A, your situation B, let's make it happen.
Yeah, well, because in the gay community, who has not experienced that? Seriously,
Yeah.
seriously. So, but yeah, you want any more material, hon? Just come on over to Fort Lauderdale, and I could go boop, 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 boop. I
Mhm.
mean, it's and I'll be. I mean, okay, so here's some material for you and your show.
Okay.
So we might have to talk a little bit offline. I don't know how much of this that I'll want to put on this. However,
Right.
whenever I first, but what I will share publicly is whenever I first moved there a little over a year and a half ago, I
Mhm.
started seeing this very nice guy. I won't say, we'll just say he was from New York, retired
Mhm.
from a very early retired from a very prestigious um, organization
Mhm.
at a very high level. And when we first started seeing each other, it's like, OMG, walk into his house. It's exactly my style, all mid-century modern furniture. Also an artist. I'm an artist, a painter as well. He's also a painter. So I'm complimenting all the art. And it was like finally at the end of the first, evening at his house, he's like, oh, well, that's actually mine. I'm like, oh my God, you just went up and up. It was like every 30 minutes there was something up and up and up and up. I mean, he was already an incredibly good looking, well fit and everything else man. And we actually saw each other for almost 8 weeks. And
Oh wow.
then all of a sudden, one day, he goes, Dennis, I'm not going to be able to, I'm probably not going to be able to see you for about 2 weeks, possibly 3. I'm like, oh, are you going out of town? He goes, no, my husband is coming into town. Now, I have been in this man's house 3 to 4 times a week for 8 weeks. There was not one time any hint, no photo in the house, no hint in conversation.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, well, is he as hot as you? And he's like, well, yeah, he's actually a dancer in the New York Ballet. And so he's, incredibly
Right.
fit
Right.
body. And we'll show me a picture. I'm like, are you guys open to a throuple? And he's like, well, let me talk to him. I'm like, oh, you haven't had this conversation before, but you have been seeing me now for 8 weeks.
Oh
And
wow.
I just, though, I didn't like feeling like if he would have been open about it,
Yeah.
like up front,
Mhm.
and we had the opportunity to have those conversations as adults the whole way
Mhm.
through,
Yeah.
uh, uh, you know,
It would have
I
been a
might,
different story, right?
yeah, it would have been a different story.
See, and that's what I'm saying. In the show, that's exactly what happens. The conversation happens. We're straightforward. We have the conversation with the other young gentleman, and we just lay it all out. It's like we have no expectations. We don't want anything from you. We just want your time, and we just want, like, if you're interested, yes, we think you're cool, but blah. That's it. It was 100% transparency.
Okay. Well, I think that this is very on point.
Yes.
So, is that currently streaming on
Yes, the first season.
vim2.tv?
Yes, the first season is, and the second season, the first 4 episodes of the second season is on VIM right now, streaming. And then we have a couple more episodes that's going to be releasing over the next few weeks.
Well, now I have to watch it. Now you've already got me hooked, and
It's a very sexy show. I will tell you that. It's very sexy.
well, nothing wrong with that. With a handsome fella like yourself in the show as well, I'm sure you're
Oh,
going to
thank
get
you.
lots of views, hopefully from this. And so, so on the subscription, is that a monthly subscription, quarterly,
Yes,
or?
we have a monthly and we have an annual subscription. So the monthly subscription is $9.99 and the annual subscription is $83. But right now we have a promo that's going on that if you use the promo code newbie 2020, you'll get 30% off for the entire subscription for the lifetime of how long ever you have it.
Oh, wow. So newbie
Yeah.
2020.
Yes.
So 30% off perpetually so long as you maintain your subscription.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. We like that. And what's so great about that is, you know, folks, when you are subscribing to vim2.tv, what you're doing is you're not only you're getting original content and you're supporting an LGBT business and an LGBT media business that'll help bring you additional content focused on our community. So it's supporting our community and supporting helping to further get LGBTQ characters out in the world onto media. So plus, hey, who doesn't love some yummy guys, right?
Right.
And some
Well, I mean,
interesting stories.
and that's the other thing. I wanted to make sure that, like, yes, the actors that we cast literally just happen to be attractive. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for actors, and it's just so when they come in audition room and we look at them and they get the script and they read the material and we like, wow, so you can actually act and you're attractive. Right. So it's like, it's how it works.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Well, you know, every film, every TV show, is I'm not going to name names, but are some actors not exactly the hottest? Sure,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they play particular characters,
Mm-hmm.
and they do those characters well. So I understand.
Right.
But I'm visiting my sister right now in Central Florida, and she knows I don't watch much TV, but when I do, if I'm going to watch several episodes, or several seasons of something, it's got to have some yummy factor.
Right.
It's got to have, like, I'll just do a shout out right now. Well, there's a few shows I recently watched. I've loved the new Netflix show called Hollywood.
Oh, I love that show.
That has
I
been
love Ryan Murphy. I love that's one other person that I think deserves a lot more recognition, just because what he does with the community and how he tells his stories and how inclusive he is in all of his material, not just like white, black, he's like very inclusive across the board. And I think he needs his roses and his praises for that.
absolutely. And one additional show I've seen, all 8 seasons now. I'm going
Uh-oh.
to give a big old shout out for The
Uh-oh.
Last Kingdom. Folks,
The
if you haven't
Last
seen The
Kingdom.
Last Kingdom,
Oh, is that the zombie one?
no, it's the United Kingdom before it was all United Kingdom. And there's the one main it's centered around this character called Utrecht. Utrecht
Oh.
is Danish. He's a Denmark, from Denmark, and he's like a kingmaker.
Oh.
We're just gonna say
Okay.
hot as fuck. Gorgeous, gorgeous,
Right.
gorgeous.
Right.
And they portray homosexuality,
Mm-hmm.
lesbian. I mean, they portray a lot throughout the whole show. But if you've not seen it's worth putting in your queue. Let me tell you, for
Okay.
for for beautiful, hunky, hot man, if you'd like to see that, The Last Kingdom. Utrecht, son of Utrecht.
Definitely have to check that out.
Well, so wonderful. I appreciate you coming on today and giving us a little bit of background on VIM Media, which again, as you see on your screen, is at vim2.tv. Head over there right now and subscribe. Be sure to put in the promo code of newbie2020 for your 30% off your subscription. And I believe that is both for the annual subscription as well as the monthly subscription. And that is perpetual for as long as you maintain your subscription status. So there you go. You'll be supporting this fantastic gentleman right here, Anthony Bawn, as he is striving to create original LGBTQ content. So check that out. And again, if you would like to hear this or continue this or watch or hear other episodes, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and be sure right here, if you are watching this on YouTube right now, go right over here and hit the subscribe, as well as check out some of the other videos that we have. We're looking to bring you original content as OutBüro Voices, featuring LGBTQ entrepreneurs and community leaders. So if you would like to be on the show, please head over to outbureau.com, choose podcast, and you're going to see be a guest. Fill out the form and let's schedule a get together and learn more about you so that you can also be featured here, just like Anthony Bawn of VIM Media. Again, that's VIM2.tv. Thank you so much, Anthony, for being with us today. And when you have new shows and new things to announce that you would like to come back, please give me a holler and we'll be sure to get you scheduled back here.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Alrighty. You have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. This is Dennis Velco with OutBüro. That is OutBuro.com, where you belong and your voice matters.